What we have discussed in last class. In last class, we have seen control flow statements. In last class, we have seen the control flow statements and the looping statement. In last class, we have seen control flow statement and the looping statement. The control flow statements are if else, nested if, in last class, we have seen the control flow statements and the looping statement. These concepts we have seen in the last class. The control flow statements are simple else if ladder. So these are the control flow statements. Why we call these are all the control flow statements, students? Why we call these are control flow statements? Yesterday we have discussed, no? Yesterday I have drawn the diagram like this. 3 boxes I had written. Generally, how the program flows sequentially one by one, the program execution will takes place. If you want to change the control of the program from first block to directly to the third block, then if you want to change the flow of the control, then we use this control statements. Then we use these control statements. And we have also seen the switch case. What is the use of switch case in the what is the use of break statement in the switch case? Yes, what is the use of break statement? What's the use of break statement? Break statement use any there? Respond. Why we use break statement? What is the use of break statement? Yes.
To break out from the loop.
Not loop. To come out from the particular case. Yes, students. Here we don't have loop. Here we don't have loop. Case by case, one by one, we are executing the cases. So suppose whatever the choice I give here in this expression, this is the syntax of switch case is switch and the expression. Here, if a expression is it contains a choice value, if I give choice as 3, then the flow of the execution of the in the switch case, the execution of third case will takes place because the choice I have given 3. Yes, students, listen here carefully. If I don't write now my choice is 3 and assume that I have not given a break statement. I have not given a break statement in case 3 and in case 4. Assume that I have not given a break statement in case 3 and case 4 till it encounters a default next break. Till it encounters a next break, it will execute all the cases. To end the execution of a particular case there only. Then we have to write a break statement in all the cases. So this is how we use a break statement. And we have seen the looping statement. While is called as a entry control loop, and do while is called as a exit control loop. And we have also seen the for loop. In for loop, we here the usage of continue. The continue is used. See, the meaning of continue means what? The meaning of continue is executing the numbers. The general meaning of continue is it should not break in between. It should not stop in between. At the end, it should continue till it finds the end. it should continue. But here in programming language, if you use continue, it skips the particular value. It skips the particular value. According to this loop, it displays a number from 0 to 19. 0 to 19. Why not 20? Why not 20, students? Because here I is initialized to 0 and 0 is less than 20. If the value of I becomes 20, then the condition becomes false. It will terminate. The condition becomes false and it will come out of the loop. So it will display the value from 0 to 19. Here, suppose if you want to skip any particular value, I don't like 15 or I don't like 17. I don't want to display that value. Then we use this continue statement. This is the use of continue statement. If I write I is equal to 15, then it skips the particular 15 value and it displays the remaining values. This is the use of continue statement. Next we have a very important concept, that is for each. For each, the syntax of for each is for each is a keyword. For each is a keyword and the data type variable name in a data type variable name and the collection variables in a collection variable. What is the syntax of for loop? What is the syntax of for loop, students? What is the syntax of for loop? Ready? Respond. Syntax of for loop. The syntax of for loop is initialization, condition, and increment, decrement. And the for loop should have the for loop should have 2 semicolons. It cannot have more than 2 or less than 2 semicolons. But when you see the syntax of for each, are we giving any condition here in the parenthesis? Are we giving any condition, students? No. Here just we are giving the collection of variables. Here we are giving the collection of variables. So see this example. Here I have declared a variable. A, which is of type string type. Here I have taken 3 string variables, the Chirag, Bhargav and Tejas. 3 names I have declared in the variable A, in the string variable A. And here, see, generally what we do, if what is it? when we use for loop ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? Suppose a name is starting with Chirag or the name is starting with USN1. If I is equal to 1, I want to display the name up to 5 USN. So here I am writing the condition. Yes, here I am writing the condition, students. I is equal to 1 means from first student to 5th student. I want to display the value from first student to 5th students. I want less than or equal to 5th student. I want to display the value. So until this condition becomes false, it will display all the values. But here in the case of for each, here we are not giving any condition. Here in the case of for loop, we are not giving any condition, but in the list I have declared some of the names, some of the variables. Now if you display this variable b, yes students, see carefully what we are doing in here in this code snippet is, here I have taken a variable a, string variable a, and I have initialized 3 names to the string variable Chirag, Bhargav and Tejas. And now what I am doing for using for each, I am retrieving those data and I am storing the variable b. See the syntax: for each data type Data type means type of the variable, variable name, in and the collection variable. Collection variable is nothing but the variable which we have declared. Which variable I have declared? I have declared variable a, which is of type string type, which is of type string type. So these the value. See, what we are doing here is whatever the variables, whatever the values I have collected in this variable, that I am assigning to this variable. These values I am assigning to this variable. Understood, students? These values I am assigning to this variable. So here the value of a I am assigning to the value of a I am assigning to the variable b. Now if you display b, the output will be Chirag, Bhargav and Tejas. Here, the difference between for and for each is in for loop, till the condition becomes false, it will display all the statements. But here in for each, here we are not checking any condition. Whatever the values are there in our collection, all the values it will display. In the case of for each for loop students, assume that I have USN 1 to USN 60 students I have. USN 1 to 60 students details I have. But here, according to my loop logic, my loop condition, I want to display the value of only 5 students. Only 5 students. But in the case of for each, it displays all the values which are collected in the variable. If I collected 60 values, 60 student names, then it will display all the 60 students' name. For each type, variable name, in and the collection variable. What collection variable is a. So whatever the values I have collected in the variable a, that will be displayed here. Yes, Artha for each. Artha. So for each has some of the understood for each. Understood the concept of for each, students. So here it is necessary to enclose the here we have some of the conditions of for each. It is necessary to condition the statement of for each within the curly braces. Yes, this is the body of the for each. This is the body of the for each. The body of the for each statement is enclosed within the curly braces. It is enclosed within the curly braces. Instead of declaring, initializing, instead of declaring, initializing a loop control variable, instead of declaring and initializing the loop control variables, you declare a variable that is the same type as the base type of the array. Yes, students, one thing you have to remember, the type of the collection variable and the type of the variable name, this variable, whatever the variable we have declared, that should be same. That should be same. And followed by a colon, and which is then followed by the array name. In the loop body, you can use the loop variable you created rather than using the index array element. So in the body of the loop, you can use a we can use a loop variable instead of using a array index variable. So students, I'll show you one program example. Here students, see here. Here I have taken a variable. I have created an array variable. In this array variable, the values are 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values I have here, and here which is of type integer type. These values are which is of type integer type. And coming to the for each statement, the variable name in and the collection variable. See, this is the A array is a collection variable where I have collected my values. Where I have collected my values. How many values I have collected? I have collected 7 variable values. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, what I am doing, I want to display these numbers. I want to display these number. How I can display this number? Using for each, that is int item. So whatever the values I have declared in the variable A array, that I am assigning to means I am passing it into the variable items. When I display the variable items, then it will display the all the values which I have declared, which I have collected in the variable A underscore array, which I have collected in the variable A underscore array. See, you zoom your mobile screen and you can see the output, students. The output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See students, to display the numbers from 1 to 7, here I am not writing any code. I am not writing any code here. See students, I have changed the collection value. I have changed the collection value. I have changed the collection value. I have included, previously it was having all the values only from 1 to 7. Now I have included 8,000, 3,000 and 5,000. So this is how we use array. Sorry, this is how we use for each. And next we have a very important concept, that is ADO.NET. ADO.NET. Yes, students, before I start the ADO.NET, first I'll take attendance, because students are not joining on time to the classes. Answer attendance, Aditya. Ajay.
Yes, ma'am.
Amit.
Yes, ma'am.
Antima. Apurva. She already placed, no? At least she can attend the class. Ashwini.
Yes, ma'am.
Bindu.
Yes, ma'am.
Divyesh. Gaurish.
Yes, ma'am.
Gautami. Gunashekar.
Present, ma'am.
Harini.
Present, ma'am.
Surya.
Present, ma'am.
Surya. Nayana? Nayana? Nazma?
Present, ma'am.
Nazma, which company is coming tomorrow?
Cognizant, ma'am.
All are eligible.
Ma'am, I think some people are eligible, ma'am. You can ask coordinator for the people who are eligible for the Cognizant, ma'am.
Nayana, she's the coordinator, no, but she has not. Nayana and
Naina and Ajay, ma'am.
Ajay, all are eligible for tomorrow's placement.
No, ma'am. Almost around 50% are eligible, ma'am.
Even we have 19th also, ma'am. Placements.
19th we have Oracle, ma'am. Everyone are eligible for that.
At what time?
Timing we do not know. They have given only 19th, ma'am.
Okay, students, if you have placement on 19th during my lab test, because they do interview online test only, they do know. So if
Yes, ma'am. Monday is online test for Oracle.
yes, if it is not in my lab schedule, then I'll conduct lab internals, because the deadline which they have given for us is 31st. Before 31st, I have to complete the lab internals, and 26th is next Monday is holiday. If you have test in the afternoon, then Tuesday afternoon, are you free?
Tuesday first hour we have class, ma'am. After that we are free.
ಟ್ಯೂಸ್ಡೇ ಇದೀತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಇದು afternoon after the first hour after 5th hour you are free.
Yes, ma'am.
Then if it is not possible on Monday, then I'll conduct on Tuesday. Is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And that too, Ajay, if your test is from 1:45 to 4:30, time al idre matra I'll postpone, otherwise I am not going to postpone.
Okay, ma'am.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡು. ನಿಧಿ?
Present, ma'am.
Pradeep?
Yes, ma'am.
See, just now the strength was the number of people 29. How come when I start taking attendance, it will increase to 40? Preeti?
Present, ma'am.
Rajesh?
Ma'am, yours and 5 present, ma'am.
No. Absent. Saket?
I was there, ma'am,
Present,
from the
ma'am.
beginning.
But when I took attendance, that time you were not there, no?
I went to washroom, ma'am.
Don't take so lightly this online classes, students. Give importance for this online class. Santosh?
Present, ma'am.
Seema? Sinchana?
Present, ma'am.
Spurti? Shashank?
Present, ma'am.
Varsha?
Present, ma'am.
Yashashwini?
Present, ma'am.
Amruta?
Present, ma'am.
Anusha?
Present, ma'am.
Apurva?
Present, ma'am.
Sai Siddharth? Chetana?
Present, ma'am.
Kavya? Kavya? Kavya absent? Madhu? Manisha? Sorry, Manish?
Present, ma'am. Manish, present, ma'am.
Yes. Sarfraz?
Present, ma'am.
Murgesh?
Present, ma'am.
Mani?
Present, ma'am.
Paresh?
Present, ma'am.
Pooja?
Present, ma'am.
Prashant?
Present, ma'am.
Pratibha?
Present, ma'am.
Pratik? Sadhana? Shashank? Shraddha?
Present, ma'am.
Sridhar,
Present, ma'am.
Tanuj,
Present, ma'am.
Tejaswini, Umehani, Ashish, Vidya,
Present, ma'am.
Vishal,
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am, Naina present, ma'am.
Nayana, attendance ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ you are not there, no Nayana?
I'm there, ma'am.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ? ನಾನು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸಿ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್. See, you can. Here I'm checking the student's name. Even I can understand. Sometimes the network issue will be there. If you answer also, I'm not. Sometimes I'm not able to hear. But if you are not there in the list, then you're not.
No, ma'am, I was there, ma'am. But I didn't told, that's it.
Antima, this is the last chance, Antima. And you are bunking so many classes.
Okay, ma'am.
Lesson 6. Lesson 6. Deviations. Gautami. Surya illa ala. Seema. Sahadev. Seema, Sahadev. Spurti.
Present, ma'am.
ಎಲ್ಲೋಗಿದೆ ಅಮ್ಮ? ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ
Ma'am, mic on ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ma'am.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ನೀನು. ಸಿದ್ಧಾರ್ಥ್, ಕಾವ್ಯ, ಮಧು, ಸಾಧನಾ, ಶಶಾಂಕ್, ಪ್ರತೀಕ್, ಉಮೇಹನಿ, ಆಶಿಷ್, students, the assessment I am sending in the link I am pasting in the chat box. You attend the assessment. So don't attend the assessment now. At the end, 5 minutes time, I'll give students. Now you listen the class. So we have seen the control flow statements, decision making statements, and we have also seen for each, why we use for each. Next we have ADO.NET. Yes, students, this is one of the important this ADO.NET is one of the important component of .NET framework. Yes, this ADO.NET is one of the important component of .NET framework. In the introduction, in the framework, in the .NET framework module also, we have seen what is ADO.NET. This ADO.NET is used. ADO.NET is the data access and manipulation protocol used by C#. Means the ADO.NET is used for the data access, means for the database management. We use this ADO.NET, and for the manipulation of the data, for the manipulation of the data means what? The modification. The modification means addition, deletion, any updation of the data. If we want to do so, we use this ADO.NET in C#. We use this ADO.NET in C#. and it is a disconnected architecture. It is a disconnected architecture. When if you observe, if you remember the first module, there also I have highlighted and I have shown you in the notepad. I have opened you, I have shown you one code also, a code snippet also I have shown you how we can say it is a disconnected architecture. So it is a disconnected architecture. Disconnected architecture means here we generally when we write a code, when we write a database code, what we do is we open a connection, we write a connection string, and we open a connection and we write the query, and then we close the connection, students. We close the connection. But here in the case of ADO.NET, we don't no need to open and close the connection. Just write the query and execute the query. Write the query and execute. So this is the reason why this is called as a disconnected architecture. And ADO.NET provides a set of components. ADO.NET provides a set of components to create to create distributed application. It provides a it provides a component to create distributed applications. And ADO.NET classes found in system.data.dll. Any idea what is DLL? This DLL is very important in .NET framework. The DLL stands for dynamic
linking library.
Yes, dynamic link library. DLL stands for dynamic link library. This DLL stands for dynamic link library. DLL stands for dynamic link library. DLL has some important, this ADO.NET has some important feature. ADO.NET has some important feature. Which are those important features? LINQ, LINQ2 dataset, and LINQ2 SQL. What is LINQ? First module, if you remember the first module, LINQ stands for Language Integrated Query. LINQ stands for Language Integrated Query. Language integrated query integrated into various aspects of data access in .NET framework, which include this LINQ includes a data set. It includes a data set, disconnected programming model, and the existing SQL Server database schema. And this LINQ to ADO.NET consists of two separate technologies. It consists of two separate technologies, that is LINQ2 dataset and LINQ2 SQL. It includes LINQ2 dataset and LINQ2 SQL. Dataset is nothing but the tables. Yes, tables we call as dataset only, no? The tables or the whatever the data we have, that we call as a data set. And whatever the query we write, yes students, whatever the query we write, we apply on the data set only, no? Yes, is it right? We apply on the data set, and we assume that I have a huge data set. I'll take your class example only. Here I have a list of 54 students. And here Cognizant is coming for placement. And to attend Cognizant placement test, there are some eligibility criteria. What are the eligibility criteria? Throughout 60. Yes, Cognizant is giving the same eligibility criteria. It is asking for throughout 60 no students. Yes, throughout 60 ne alva.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, throughout 60 means PU, SSLC, PU, degree, MCA, all the courses you should have minimum 60 percentage. And what I do, I write a query here. See, my query I am applying to the class data set. On the class data set, I am applying the query. What query I am applying? Display or select students where percentage of um, where the students which are having throughout 60, the students which are having throughout 60. So out of 54 students, maybe 30 students have throughout 60. So it will display the student's name, which it will display the 30 students name which are having throughout 60 percentage. So those students are eligible to take up the cognizant exam, here we have some of the components of .NET frame, ADO.NET. Some of the components of ADO.NET. See here, these are all the components of ADO.NET. That is connection object. Connection object is nothing but a connection string. The connection string that for OLEDB. If we are using, then we have to write a connection string for OLEDB. If you are using a Oracle, then you have to write a connection string for Oracle. If you are writing ODBC, if you are using ODBC, then we have to write a connection object for ODBC. And next we have a data adapter object. It provides communication between data source and data set. This data adapter, it allows the data adapter, it provides the communication between data source and the data set. The data adapters are OLEDB data adapter, ODBC data adapter, Oracle data adapter, SQL data adapter, Access data adapter. So these are all the adapters we have. And the dataset object. The dataset object. The dataset object. It stores the dataset object stores data in a cache. It stores the data in a cache that is disconnected from the data source. The structure of the data set is similar to the relational database. And the next object we have data table object. The data table object, it holds the table. It holds the data table from the data source, from the source of the data. It holds the value in the form of a table. And here we represent rows and columns. Like this we have so many data set, so many objects we have. Data reader object, data view object, data command object, data row object, data column object. We have so many objects. So next we have the very important concept, that is ADO.NET architecture. Please go through the diagram, students. Just see the architecture of ADO.NET, students. the date, yes, if you observe the .NET ADO.NET architecture, if you observe the ADO.NET architecture, here the architecture is divided into two components. The architecture is divided into two components, that is a data provider and a data set. That architecture is divided into the two components, that is data set and data provider. Data set and data provider. Students, the expression of the this ADO.NET architecture, I'll do it in the next class. I'll do it in the next class. Now you attend the assessment. Attend the assessment. Students, all of you received the software. All of you have installed the software in your laptop.
Yes, ma'am.
Any issues you are facing? Another problem idea, another issue idea. Any issue, students? Any difficulties you are facing during the installation of the software? Yes, students, why I am asking this again and again is, on the internal day, you should not say that I don't have software, I'm not able to execute program. Please don't say that. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. If you have any issues, tell me now only. If you have any doubt in any of the lab program, please ask students. I'm ready to explain once again. Internals, I can give you any program. I can give you any program. You cannot say I have not studied this program, I have not studied that program. Atarella reason helange illa. Whatever the program I give, you have to write and you have to show the execution. You have to share your screen. Our laptop nanatra illa adala reason helange illa. You have to be ready with your proper internet and the laptop with fully charged. Then don't say I don't have charge, no power cut, this, that, no reason. Because that is your test. Internals hangala reason helange illa. Yes, students. ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಇವಾಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. We'll discuss the lab programs once again.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಇದು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ತೋರ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್?
ಯಾಕೆ ತೋರ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್? ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ ಮನೇಲೂ ವೈಫೈ ಇರಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಇವಾಗ ಮಳೆಗಾಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಮಳೆಗಾಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಅಂತದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತರ?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದಲ್ವಾ, ದಿನ ಇವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಸತಿ ನೀವು
ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇ ಇಫ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್? ನಮ್ ಕೈಲಿ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಇವಾಗ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ದಿನ ನೀವು ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಮ್ಮ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಾನು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಿ? ಇವಾಗ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಬಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಲೌ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಇವಾಗ ಥಿಯರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಅನ್ಬೋದು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹೇಳಿ?
ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಇವಾಗ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಸ್, ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕೂಡ ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಪದೇ ಅದು ನನಗ್ ನಿಜ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನನ್ನ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕ್ರಾಶ್ ಆಗೋ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಇವಾಗ. ಆ ಕಡೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಆಂಡ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ನಾವ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್
ಇರೋ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ.
ಹಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು.
ವರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸ್
ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ನಾವ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇವಾಗ ಜೆನ್ಯೂನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಿನ್ಗೆ ನಿಜ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್. ಬಟ್ ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದೇ ರೀಸನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜೆನ್ಯೂನ್.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, I am ready to come to college and show you the output if you want.
I know you are ready to come to college, but Still the college is not allowing students, no. ಇವಾಗ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಅಲೌ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇ ಬನ್ನಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬಂದು ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ
ಹೌ
ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಬಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಈಗ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ನಡೀತಿದೆ, ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ನಡೀತಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್? ಕಷ್ಟಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದೆಯಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? ಇವನ್ ಐ ನೋ ಎನಿ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೈಡ್?
We don't know, ma'am. As teachers, you have to give solution which is like
What I am telling
feasible
you,
for
everybody,
students also, ma'am.
say, listen, Varsha, I am telling everybody will not be having the same issue, no? Yes, if one or two genuine cases, if you have, then we have some, we'll consider that, and based on your Viva marks, we can give. Based on your Viva and based on your write-up, we can give only for the genuine cases. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ನನ್ನ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ನೋ? ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು. ಇವಾಗ ನಿನಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ, ನೀನ್ ನಿಜ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ
ನನಗೆ ನನ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರದ್ದು ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ.
ಫುಲ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ವೈಫೈನೂ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಆದ್ರೂ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಅದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನಂಗೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್
ನನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ನೀನ್ ಹಂಗ ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯಾ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಹಂಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ. ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹಂಗೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಜನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೇನೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಜ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಜೆನ್ಯೂನ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾನು HOD ಬಟ್ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಿ ಯಾರು, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಜೆನ್ಯೂನ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್.
ನನ್ನ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಂದು ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಎಸ್ ಐ ಟಾಕ್ ಟು HOD.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಈ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಯು ಶೇರ್, ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್. Yes, finished your assessment, students? Everybody? ಎಷ್ಟು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ನನಗೆ? 34 ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ.
ನಾನು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನಂಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು. GCR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡು, GCR ಅಲ್ಲಿ
1 to 5 ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಫೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಇದೆ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಇರು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, ಐ ಶೋ ಯು.
ಓಕೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದಲ್ಲ, ಇಷ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮಿಷ.
ನೋ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೈಕ್ ಕುಡಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ನಾನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಳಿಸ್ದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ GCR ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇರಿ ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಇದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಕಾಪಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಪಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ ಅದೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಯು ನಾಟ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಎನಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್, ಯು ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎನಿ ಎರರ್ಸ್.
ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಅದು ಫೈಲೇ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು.
ಫೈಲ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, sir. Today I'll send in Word file only. In Word document only I'll send.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Word ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಇವತ್ತು.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Okay. Any other issues? Any doubt in any program? Any doubt? ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಾರಿ?
ನೋ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಡೌಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ
ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಹಾ ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ.
ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ನ PDF ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾ ಅಥವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನು ಏನು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಸ್ಟೇಷನರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇವಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 10 ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಬರ್ದಿದೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಆ 10 ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಬರೀರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್.
ಓಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಇನ್ನು ನಾನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ PDF ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳ್ಸೋಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಕಳ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ HOD ಇಂದ. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದಟ್. ಆಶೀಶ್ ಇವಾಗ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ? ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅವಾಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡೆ 2 times. ಟುಡೇ ಐ ಟುಕ್ 2 times ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಆಶೀಶ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೀಮಾ. That time you are not there. You assume that attendance anyway I'll take at the end. Today I took attendance in the middle. Now if you say present, no, I am not going to give attendance.